This is what choice in schools does for families. It wipes out inequalities. It gets rid of, at least in the long term, bad teachers. It gets rid of, in the short term, kids who can't read. It allows every public school to largely act like a private school. And it doesn't cost families any money like private schools do. How does this work? It's allowing parents to take the money that the government spends on your kid in school to let you decide which school and which after school programs you want your kid to be in. It could be in your neighborhood. It could be across town. It could even be in a different town. It will certainly be in a better school 6 months from now than your kid is in now, especially if you're in an urban area. What school choice does, there's no inequality left. There's no such thing even as a black school because kids will be integrating themselves wherever the schools are. There's no such thing long term as an underperforming school because parents will go away from it. It will have to close or improve. Improvement is the incentive of business. Schools right now are not run like businesses. They're funded the same way with grants from states and towns. And how do we know this? Look at United States universities. They act like businesses. They're nonprofits, but they're not getting funded from the government. They're getting funded from individuals, many of them possessing some student loans that are aided by the government. But basically, it's acting like a voucher that when you have a pile of money to spend on your higher ed, you go to a good place, and almost every place becomes better because they're competing for your dollars. Why can't we do that? We can do that in K through 12 education. It takes some open-minded legislators, and we do that in K through 12 when it's private schools. And let me make sure you realize the result. There's no such thing as a kid who goes through even 5 years of private school education who can't read. Okay? It just doesn't happen in the Catholic schools, in the Montessori schools, in the private preparation schools. It doesn't exist. Happens all too often in our urban public schools. As I have said, David Duke, a vile racist, couldn't be happier with the state of African Americans' plight in urban education. In a school choice system, a family of any race has a voucher. Actually, urban families probably have a higher value voucher because right now there's more money being spent on their kids' education. So somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 per child is now in the hands of you to use on education. You can't go to the beach with it. But it's any education. It even includes extracurricular education. So if a student actually will get a lot out of an after-school nutrition science program, or an after-school sport, or an after-school music program, it gets paid for too. Parents don't have to worry, gosh, can I afford to have my kids suit up in a hockey program this year? It's a lot of money. Well, there's voucher money available for you. Here's what the extreme end of what vouchers can do. It allows strong high school students to take college courses if they're ready. It allows students in middle school who want to take a course that might not be offered now. There's too few kids in the district to offer a Latin class. You got to pay a teacher for that, and if only 3 kids want it, what a shame, we can't afford it. But it's not going to be just 3 kids when it's an online class, and the whole state, or maybe even the whole nation, can participate in the class that you want to hold. The opportunities, thanks to COVID, is one of the few good things the COVID pandemic has produced, is respect for online education. And now voucher money is going to go so much further to so many different possibilities that will help every one of our kids. Our legislature has to embrace it. I am running for legislature, and it is a day one issue that comes, if I'm elected, on the first day of the January session. We need to eliminate the geographic monopoly that keeps kids in one place, with a few exceptions, and instead allow them to choose to go anywhere or build into any kind of school right at home. I'm Mark Stewart, sometimes known as Stewart for Hartford. Thanks for hearing me out.